Hello, beautiful people of the internet. This is me talking out my shift. So yesterday was a pretty dark day. It's been building. I suppose it was the full moon. And typically September full moon is the harvest moon of my soul. As I started to see the patterns, not be so distracted by the drama, but see the patterns in my own energy field. And so I was witnessing it yesterday, and I was witnessing it bubble up, and Jim's birthday was this week, but, you know, with the intense amount of drama that's happening right now with Trudeau and all the leaders of Canada vying to send our children to war, in a war that will never end, cheering on the total annihilation of the Ukrainian culture and its men from the ages of 16 to 64. The absolute mass manipulation for people cheering on war. And me over here knowing for 20 years that all wars are bankers' wars and they're only there to steal all the resources. And we already know that Ukraine is up on the chopping block for the first smart country. And at the end of this, there will be no more Ukraine. It will be divvied up amongst all these countries, sold to BlackRock, all of its resources, just like they did in all the other countries over the past 100 years. Anti-colonialism, people are cheering on colonialism. It's quite the mindfuck. Also, the fact that, I think our leaders forget that, Russia is in our north already. We have nothing to defend the north, and China and Russia already pretty much own it, just not on paper. They have plenty of icebreakers up north, and should a war break out, Canada will be the land of which it will happen on, as far as I'm concerned. So that's been getting to me. Not to mention, the treason, the Coots boys getting 6 years each, and then the just complete disregard for all women's rights in the face of gaslighting people's eyeballs. That's been bubbling up inside of me. Then the second Trump assassination and the fear around them actually succeeding and what that will mean for the world. It's amazing how 4 years ago I thought that his total destruction would be a good thing, and now I see he's the only thing standing in the way of World War III, quite literally. And that's the thing about fighting Satanists, or whatever the hell you want to call them, those of you who think that Satanism is a positive thing, and not what we all group it in as, psycho, pedo, democidal maniacs, which seems like a Satan thing. And that in itself also makes me very angry because, the light bringer, the evil, is going to be the thing that brings about heaven on earth, ultimately. And to give credit to the evil is just the worst. And that's the problem when you're fighting Satanists, is they just want the death and destruction of all things, and they don't care how it happens. Which leads me to yesterday, and how, that is a very large chopper above me, the pager incident that happened yesterday, and just the cheering on of families, of people being in cars, of just pure terrorism to terrorize the people. And people are cheering it on. I'm just like, this world is so fucked. And so little by little, I've been finding myself full of hate. And being full of hate is not a thing that comes naturally to me. It is very uncomfortable for me. And even though I've never been a Jesus person, I sort of get that actually has sort of been somewhat of my saving grace over the 41 years that I've been alive. And so I've been really in a come to Jesus moment, quite literally, trying to be aware of the anger that's seething in my soul, and recognizing that, when I was worried about being in concentration camps, this anger definitely came up, and I've had a lot of moments, and so it's very uncomfortable when they come up again, because you sort of forget, oh yeah, this happened before. So that's sort of where I've been at, is okay, you're angry, it's okay. Now what? You've transmuted anger before, so what does that mean? And what that means for me, well, this is the pep talk I gave myself. Okay, The things that you are in fear of are not happening in your immediate vicinity right now. The anger you have towards the having to draw a line, I thought in a way that I thought maybe I could avoid drawing some lines on the limits of my acceptance. And it's very uncomfortable to have to say, no, I do not accept this. And I don't like doing that because I love everybody. But I don't love pedos. And I don't love groomers. And I don't love democidal maniacs. And so that's a really pretty tree that I'm going to go sit under right now. So I've been struggling with my anger. And I just keep hearing, let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God. Like my mom would say, let go and let God, Amanda. I get why the world needs true Christianity, true Christ. Why the stories of Jesus are so important. Because when you can stand in that light, forgiveness allows you, transmuting, giving to God, allows me to continue to live my life and not be paralyzed in a future that's not yet here. And 4 or 5 years ago now, I guess, when 2020 hit, that was really my ultimate decision. Was I was afraid of being a truther, but then the voice, the Holy Spirit, I guess they call it, said, the thing you fear has not happened yet. And the only way to stop it is through truth. And one day your fears will be real and you will not be able to speak. So speak now or forever hold your peace. So I started speaking. And a lot of other people started speaking. And what's the matter? Just go play for a minute. That so much of what I fear is happening in other people's worlds and other people's existences and not here. And, one of the things I'm very clear about is that the distraction is always from you. It's from your capability of living into the future. And I can see when I feel that way, when I feel that anger, I feel like what's the point in the wandering footprint? What's the point in having a dream of heaven on earth? What's the point in going on? And that is so uncomfortable that that I have to go back to like all the moments in my life that I have transmuted fear and upset and anger and frustration into hope and possibility. And it always comes from letting go and letting God and recognizing that the rebellion is self-love. The rebellion is forgiveness. The rebellion is standing in being the change and being who you want the world to be. And, to witness how these cultural wars, these religious wars get perpetuated and then they go on for thousands and thousands of years is just so depressing. That the only answer is to let go and let God and believe in the pronoia and believe that, nothing, it's not getting worse. We're just seeing it more. And that's the biggest thing, that the truth wins and that all dark is coming to light and that I'm on the right path and that nothing to fear but fear itself. And when you fear things, you literally pull them into your world and into your space, and how important it is to transmute the fear and to, forgive my human self and my scared little girl heart, and forgive the mass manipulation, and forgive people who wish ill will on me and to not wish ill will on them. And that's the only place that I can create from, is believing in sanity again. Don't forget to check out the Wandering Footprint. I'm working real hard over here in the forest. Peace. Just let go and let God. Just breathe. Just believe. Just be. You can't fight for peace. can't fight